Over a decade after her infamous trial, Casey Anthony is back in the headlines. But this time, the story isn't about courtrooms or legal drama. Instead, it's about a night out, one that's turning heads for very different reasons. Not for crime, but for a date night. In a surprising twist, Anthony was seen enjoying herself in public, a rare sight since her acquittal. The scene was ordinary, just another couple out for the evening, yet the attention it drew was anything but. On July 9, 2025, Anthony was spotted at a bustling sports bar in Manchester, New Hampshire, accompanied by an unidentified man. The pair arrived just as the evening crowd was settling in, blending into the lively atmosphere of the city's nightlife. The two appeared relaxed, sharing appetizers and drinks while catching a Red Sox game on the big screen. Laughter and easy conversation seemed to flow between them, suggesting a comfort and familiarity that didn't go unnoticed by those nearby. Eyewitnesses described their chemistry as unmistakable, fueling rumors of a budding relationship. Some patrons whispered among themselves, recognizing Anthony and speculating about her companion, while others simply watched the pair with curiosity. Anthony, sporting a new stylish haircut, seemed at ease, far from the reclusive figure she's been since her trial. Her demeanor was confident, even cheerful, as if she was finally ready to step out from the shadows of her past. This public outing, captured by TMZ cameras lurking outside, signals her tentative return to public life. The flashes of paparazzi cameras marked a stark contrast to the private existence she's maintained for years. For many, seeing her in such a normal setting is a jarring reminder of a case that still stirs strong emotions. The sight of Anthony laughing and socializing brought back memories for some, and sparked debate for others about forgiveness, fame, and moving on. The question remains, can she ever be just another face in the crowd? Or will her past forever set her apart, no matter how ordinary her night out may seem? This date night is part of Casey Anthony's broader effort to reclaim her narrative and step back into the public eye. After years of silence and infamy, she's making calculated moves to reintroduce herself, not just as a figure from a notorious trial, but as a woman trying to move forward with her life. These outings are more than just social events. They're statements of intent, signaling her desire to be seen as a person beyond the headlines. Earlier this year, she launched a TikTok account, introducing herself as a legal advocate and researcher. Through short videos, she shares glimpses of her daily life, her work, and her thoughts, hoping to connect with viewers on a more personal level. It's a bold attempt to rewrite her story, one post at a time, and to show a side of herself the public has never really seen. In her videos, Anthony insists on advocating for herself and her late daughter, Kaylee, a move that's drawn both support and outrage. She addresses her critics directly, while also reaching out to those who might be willing to listen. By speaking openly, she's trying to reclaim her voice and shape her own legacy, even as controversy continues to swirl around her. She's also started a Substack newsletter, sharing her story directly with subscribers and bypassing traditional media. Through long-form posts, she offers her perspective on past events, her current projects, and her hopes for the future. This platform gives her a space to explain herself in her own words, without the filter of sensational headlines. These digital platforms let her control her image and build a small, loyal following. For the first time, she's able to interact directly with people who are curious, supportive, or even skeptical. Every like, comment, and share is a step toward rebuilding her reputation, however slowly. But every post is a gamble, risking renewed public anger. The internet never forgets, and backlash can be swift and brutal. For Anthony, each interaction online is a reminder of how polarizing her presence remains, and how fragile any progress can be. Anthony is testing whether the world will ever see her as more than the most hated mom in America. Her journey is uncertain, and acceptance is far from guaranteed. But with every step, she's challenging the world to reconsider who she is and who she might become. To truly understand the intense backlash that followed, we have to revisit the case that shocked and divided America. This was not just another criminal trial, it was a cultural moment that exposed deep rifts in public trust and the justice system itself. It was the case that made Casey Anthony infamous. Her name splashed across every headline and news broadcast for months on end. In 2008, her 2-year-old daughter Kaylee was reported missing, by Casey herself, but only after a staggering 31 days had passed. The delay was almost unheard of, and immediately raised suspicions among investigators and the public alike. The bizarre delay, combined with Anthony's ever-changing stories and emotional interviews, fueled a national obsession. The media seized on every detail, turning the case into a daily spectacle. By the time the 2011 trial began, it had become a full-blown media circus. Prosecutors alleged that Casey killed Kaylee to reclaim her freedom and live a carefree life, painting a portrait of a mother who wanted to escape responsibility. The defense, on the other hand, argued that Kaylee's death was a tragic accident, an accidental drowning that the family tried desperately to cover up, leading to a web of lies and confusion. The evidence presented was largely circumstantial, with no direct proof tying Casey to the crime. But the emotional drama inside the courtroom was undeniable, keeping viewers glued to every twist and turn. Across the country, people watched together, debated fiercely, and formed strong opinions long before the jury ever reached a verdict. The trial became a national conversation, dividing families and friends. The case quickly became a symbol of media frenzy and public outrage, with reporters and protesters crowding the courthouse and every new development broadcast live. Even now, years later, Anthony's every move is still scrutinized by the public and the press, a lasting reminder of a trial that truly gripped a nation. On July 5, 2011, the jury acquitted Casey Anthony of murder, stunning the nation. She was found guilty only of lying to police and released days later, having served time awaiting trial. The public was outraged, convinced justice had failed Kaylee. In the court of public opinion, Anthony was, and remains, guilty. The most hated mom in America label stuck, fueled by a sense that she escaped accountability. Every public appearance reignites old anger and debate. For many, she's a symbol of a flawed justice system. Her attempts to move on are seen as a provocation, not a fresh start. More than a decade later, Casey Anthony is trying to live a normal life, dating, working, and posting online. But can society ever let her move on? Legally, she was acquitted. Publicly, she's still condemned. Social media ensures her past is always present, making anonymity impossible. Each new sighting or post restarts the cycle of judgment. The question isn't just about Anthony. It's about justice, forgiveness, and whether redemption is possible in the digital age. Can we ever separate a person from their most notorious moment?